You know, what does this whole kind of re-election of Macron mean for the UK?
Well, I think in general it probably means more of the same. We haven't had the far-right candidate, Marine Le Pen, take the presidency, which was a relief to quite a lot of people in France.
But hang on, do you regard her as far-right? Because, you see, I think in politics a lot of labels get thrown around to, you know, people say, oh, she is so divisive, while simultaneously providing very divisive labels to the same people. So do you think she was far-right? Is this a rejection of far-right ideals?
Yeah, I think it is unhelpful to just call her far-right. You've seen 42% of people in France, well, of voters. There was, of course, a huge abstention as well. 28% of people didn't even bother turning up for that second round of votes. So that does show that people didn't want to choose between those two candidates. Is she far right? I think she's more of a socialist nationalist, actually. She's very left-leaning on economics, protectionist. She wants to nationalise industries and so on. On the right, her nationalist instincts, you can certainly call right-wing in terms of, you know, bans on cultural symbols, for example, the headscarf, massively reducing immigration into the country. Those sort of proposals can be considered right-wing. But I don't think it's helpful in our political discourse to just dismiss her and all of her support, which is considerable, as being far-right. I'm not sure that helps with the discussion, probably not.
More of the same then, Kerry? Is that what we've got to look forward to?
I'm afraid so, and I think Emily's right. And I think you're right, Michelle. I don't think we can just apply left and right in the old way. I know people who see themselves as very left-wing who voted for Marine Le Pen because of Macron's attacks on working-class people. I also know people who consider themselves right-wing, who voted for Macron to keep Marine out. You know, I don't think left and right just works in the same old way. And there was also, I think the figures were something like 8% who turned up and voted what's called vote blanc, which is like, you know, nothing. So spoiling the vote, I suppose, in this election. So I think you're right. People were holding their nose on either side of this. And Macron is going to have a very difficult job uniting the country, precisely because his reforms and his failure to deal with the cost of living crisis is quite extreme.